The more we've seen of Sea of Thieves, the clearer it's become that the simple act of playing it will be fun. But what bookends that moment-to-moment play has remained mysterious since the game's announcement. How does Sea of Thieves begin? What's the story, and what are we working towards? After visiting Rare and talking to several of the game's developers and producers, finally, we have some answers. Before we begin, unfortunately, most of what we were shown was behind-the-scenes footage, so what you're seeing on screen is representative rather than actual in-game capture. So let's begin at the beginning. Sea of Thieves will open with you choosing your pirate, and choosing is a deliberate choice of words. This isn't character customization. You begin in a tavern with 8 procedurally generated pirates to inspect. They're created based on 20 different parameters, everything from age to body shape to overall wonkiness, leading to a practically infinite number of variations. If you don't like the 8 you're shown, you can regenerate another 8, and you can do that as many times as you like until you find a favourite. Just make sure you want to spend hours with that pirate, because you never get a chance to alter their physical appearance again. Once you have a pirate, you'll need to choose a ship, and we finally got an answer on how boat ownership will work. Like the beta, your selection essentially boils down to a galleon, built for 4 players, or a sloop, built for 1 or 2. But the ship you choose only lasts as long as the gameplay session you're in. The compromise is in how boats are customised. Players can buy cosmetic upgrades, figureheads, sail designs, and specific hulls that they keep forever in the same way as clothing or equipment. Those can be applied to any boat, meaning each time you play, you and your new crew can decide on the look of your ship as you sail. We also have some description of the storyline. The actual Sea of Thieves itself is pitched as a physical place in our world, a mystical land that can only be found if you know where to go. Lead designer Mike Chapman sums it up in evocative fashion by saying it could be found in the crease of a map. Your pirate has found their way into that crease at the beginning of the game. As with any good pirate yarn, there's a massive treasure haul to be found called Athena's Fortune, although no developer would elaborate more on that than giving me the name. But your immediate goal is to become a pirate legend. That's a much more tangible title than the buzzwordy E3 speak it's previously felt like. Completing enough voyages and raising your reputation with the game's 3 factions eventually awards you legend status, and that comes with its own rewards. A secret pirate hideout, the opportunity to take on legendary voyages, Sea of Thieves' closest equivalent to MMO's raid content, and your very own legendary ship. A different model to the standard galleons and sloops, Rare won't tell us what the specifics of this actually entails, or exactly how it works with a mixed crew, but one developer told us that your legendary ship is a whole other game type, and that it has access to things that other ships don't. The idea is that when players see a legendary ship on the horizon, it's like seeing the Black Pearl. Those legendary voyages aren't locked off from lower level players either, so a set crew won't be fragmented if one player progresses further than the others. And those voyages offer the best rewards in the game. Legends will be in high demand in the early stages. Inevitably, of course, the world will become saturated with pirate legends, making that tag less valuable. But Rare says becoming a legend is essentially Sea of Thieves' first chapter. It's endgame content at launch, but will become something like start game content once the game gets its first major free content updates. The first of those should come around 3 months after launch, extending the story and adding more for Legends to do. Smaller updates will come first though, adding event quests, extra items, or even new islands and factions. Oh, and to finish up, we've actually seen the Kraken now. We're told that encountering the Kraken will be an extremely rare event, acting almost like one of the game's storms. Rare described it as a force of nature, rather than the endpoint of a specific quest, and it can envelop your ship, drag it underwater, smack sailors off deck, or even pick them up to look down on their vessel as it's assaulted. Each of its 8 tentacles can be attacked to make them release you, and we've seen big hints that you'll get rewards for repelling the beast. The fact that I know how the Kraken will work, but not exactly when I'll see it or how I'll be rewarded for fighting it, seems like the sweet spot Rare is aiming for with the whole game. We knew how Sea of Thieves would play, and now we know why we'd play Sea of Thieves, which just leaves me extremely impatient to actually play Sea of Thieves and see what other secrets await me.